Here we are. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of The Viewpoint. We are looking at AEW All Out. I'm joined by quite a regular fixture of the show now, aren't you, Champagne Charlie?
Pretty much, yeah.
We're going to be joined, Josh Porter, he's currently away at the moment. He's in community service. And he will be having his predictions at the end of this episode. So look, we are here to discuss AEW All Out. Last year they had a lot of speculation, obviously, with it being in Chicago, and and obviously that didn't happen. This year is probably the most eclectic card of matches that AEW have presented. So 8-man tag action to add to already some more tag action that's taken place. What do you think?
Now I'm kind of split down with this. I mean, I'm going to come to a decision in a second, but this is where I am with it. Right? Both teams have a detriment, I'm afraid, to them. You know what I mean? That's going to probably do them an injustice. For the Scorpio Sky and Natural Nightmares and Matt Carter, the thing that could ruin it for them is this. They've been doing this storyline with QT Marshall and with Ali, that kind of thing. Is she distracting him away from the team? Is his eye on the ball? That kind of thing. So that's what could cost them the match. Okay. On the Dark Order's side, you've got Colt Cabana in there, who they've been trying to recruit for ages. He's not an official member of the group, though. That's the thing. He's just been associating with them, so it's really unclear as whether, because he's not actually turned heel, you know what I mean? He's still out by himself. He still uses his own music, the whole boom boom Colt Cabana thing. So is this the thing where they try and do something and he doesn't like it, that kind of thing? All in all, the Dark Order have been on fire as of late, and I don't think they're gonna have someone like Brody Lee lose on his own volition. So if the Dark Order does lose, it's going to be someone else that gets pinned. So actually, now that I've just said that, I think Cardona's team will win, but it won't be Brody Lee who takes the fall. It'll be someone like Uno or Stu Grayson or something like that. So yeah, all right, I'll go with Cardona, Sky, and the Natural Nightmares. Yeah. Now that I've gone through it, so.
Sometimes you need to do that. And the thing is, you're going through it actually helped me. I hope, actually, because I'm going the other way. I think the Dark Order are winning. I think, obviously, Brody Lee, he's a TNT champion, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He destroyed Cody, so.
Yeah, and I think while this is obviously, you've got Dustin in there to kind of, fight for his brother or whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of, I don't know, because QT Marshall on the team, I just assume he's going to take the pin. And I can see your point though about obviously the Colt Cabana thing. Again, I must state to people that I don't watch AEW on a regular basis, so I just kind of go by kind of
what's in black and white, basically. So.
Yeah, it was black and white and kind of what's been said online or whatever. But I think, I'm gonna go the way. I think the Dark Order. I think Brody Lee, they want to establish him as a TNT champion and want to do something. I think that would be the way to go. So that's one where we've differed. This one I think we might differ on. So this match is going to be the 21-man Casino Battle Royal, with the winner obviously receiving a future AEW Championship match. So far, I think 9 people have been announced. They are Darby Allin, Lance Archer, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, Pentagon Jr., Ray Phoenix of the Lucha Bros, The Butcher and The Blade, and Eddie Kingston. So 2 parts of this, really. Number 1, who do you think is going to be a mystery entrant? Obviously, there's 12 people left to be confirmed. And obviously, who do you think is going to win?
Well, as far as some of the mystery entrants, with these battle royals, they like to shake it up. They like to bring in new people, don't they? So who knows? It may be even some of the people that we've seen on Dynamite. During like the whole. Do you remember when Cody was doing the whole TNT Open Challenge thing?
Yeah,
there were a couple of indie darlings there. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Warhorse show up again. So because he got quite a good following from that match, really. So there's that. So I think maybe Warhorse may show up. That's the only one I'm guessing because there's so many people on the Indies, as you know. As far as who I think is going to win, another bonus point should be who will be the Joker. Who will be the last person to enter.
Go for it.
Royal. Here's what I think. I think this person will be the Joker, and I think they'll be also the person to win it as well.
Ooh.
I think Lance Archer, because here's the thing. They were building, before Double or Nothing earlier this year, they were building him up as this unstoppable monster. They're doing that again now, but they fucked it up when they had him lose to Cody in that TNT title. They really took that really took the momentum away, and they've been slowly trying to build that up. That blemish is still there. They want to try and correct that, I think. So the only way to really do that, I think, would be to give him this match.
Okay, so you're gone basically almost all in with Lance Archer there, with
pretty much, yeah.
So and Joker, right? I forgot about the Joker rule. Now, so here's what I think. I think that Pentagon Jr. and Ray Phoenix and the Butcher and the Blade are tag team wrestlers. So that's
they're all kind of like unifying together as like this big group with
Eddie
Kingston.
I think that's all a bit busy for them, and that'll be away from the single stuff. I think that Ricky Starks, I don't know who he is.
He's actually quite good. He was in NWA before. Okay. He was at the I'm not going to say inaugural, but he was the first new television champion for NWA Power. But then his contract expired after he lost it, so that's why he,
I am going to go for the person I thought would win the ladder match they did at Double or Nothing. I'm going to go for Darby Allin. I think similarly to how you felt about Lance Archer, I feel that when I was last regularly watching AEW, late last year, early this year, I feel very strongly that they were really building up Darby Allin for something. He got a lot
when they had him when they had him tie with Cody about a year ago, that kind of
thing. And then they also had him work a really good TV match against John Moxley. I
remember that one.
And come across very strong, which, as we're going to get to later on when we talk about Moxley, not many people get to do that with him. He's very protected, I feel anyway. And maybe rightfully so, as we'll get to later on. I think that Brian Cage kind of fucked things up for Darby.
Yeah, kind of.
In the same way that Cody kind of fucked things up for Lance Archer. So you see, I'm going for something different. I do think that I do see Lance Archer actually being the Joker, though, being in last, because I think one way to get him over without him winning, if he's going to be last and win, that's fine. Yeah. If he's not going to win... I love the
fact they've got State Roberts as his manager. I love it.
Yeah. If he was in last and eliminates a solid amount of people, and then obviously Darby...
like big surprise, little man eliminated big. I get that. Yeah,
I'm gonna go for Darby. In terms of surprising, you're right. I think obviously Eddie Kingston, wasn't he one of Cody's challengers recently?
He was, but he officially got signed while Warhorse wasn't.
Yeah. So because I don't know, I'm gonna have to just go crazy then, and I'm going to go for. I'm looking for Val Venus. There we are, Val Venus.
Sure. Have you
Sean
seen
Morley.
What he looks like? Have you seen what he looks like?
Or someone of that ilk, like Val Venus, or Scotty Too Hotty, or someone like that.
Yeah.
I think because as much as I think it's AEW, as much as obviously
old school, you're saying pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, because they got Billy Gunn there, haven't they? They got Billy Gunn. Alcoholic could be a good shout.
Is a given, so
I'm gonna go for someone of that ilk. I'm being a bit broad.
Tommy Dreamer again as well, because I know he's quite close with Cody and all that. So
I think because obviously Cody and Co, they kind of respect the business a lot, and like obviously I think TNT in particular are very keen to get obviously people. I think the way they kind of see it is if that person has been on television, so Scott Hotty, at one point he was on television weekly.
Yeah. Do you know what?
He's more known than some of the other just wrestlers.
Do you know what wouldn't surprise me? What wouldn't surprise me? If they put, even though she's if they put a woman in there, like someone like Nyla Rose, because they might like try to build her like kind of like China or Beth Phoenix when they were in those kind of men's matches. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't surprise me one bit if they put Nyla Rose in something like that, because I'm a big Nyla Rose fan. So yeah.
So you went for Lance Archer, and with him being the Joker, and I've gone for Darby Allin. I've gone with Darby Allin, and I've put Attitude Era star. I know it's vague, but let's be real. You're probably closer to the prediction than I am.
Yeah.
We're gonna go for the AEW World Title, and we're gonna go for John Moxley.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting maybe the tag team titles first, but okay, well, let's do the World Championship.
The World Championship now. And so this match, we've got Moxley is banned from using the Paradigm Shift finisher.
Yes.
MJF, has he still only lost once?
I think he's only lost once. Yes. Yeah. It was he lost a tag team match with Wardlow against Press, but he wasn't pinned in that match. So. And then I think he also lost a 4-way match back at Fyter Fest last year. But again, he wasn't the one who was pinned for it. So
I think singles matches. I think he's
singles matches. He's undefeated. So
undefeated still.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go. A lot to unpack. I think at this one, isn't it? A lot to unpack.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Big match. John Moxley been champion since the beginning of the year, isn't he?
Yeah, he won it back at Revolution. That was in February, I think.
January, February? Yeah.
February, yeah.
Around that time. Back when crowds existed, remember those?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Back when packed arenas existed.
Yeah.
So he's had about what? It's now 9 months, pretty much? 8, 9 months?
Yeah, pretty much, yes.
That makes him the longest reigning champ, I believe, doesn't it? Because Jericho...
I think it does, actually, yeah.
But yeah, what do you think, then?
Here's what I think. Now, I'm a Moxley fan. I do like what he's doing, and here's what I think. So far, the only champions, the heavyweight champions, they've been established stars. People who've already made it, like Jericho and Moxley, etc. I'm all for growing homegrown talent and making new stars. And even though MJF, okay, Grant, he's a dick. Okay, he's an absolute dick, but he gets over with it. You know what I mean? He's a modern day. This goes to show how much of a wrestling historian I am. He's like a modern day Gino Hernandez in a way. He can really get under people's skin. He's good looking. He's young. He's athletic. And here's the thing: he knows it. Yeah. That's the kicker. Do you know what I mean? So he really uses that to his advantage, and he's the best example of a modern day heel. But he likes those old. He does pay homage to those old school styles. I don't know if you know it, but when he wears his Burberry like robe on the way to the ring for the big matches, he does a little bit of a kind of Ric Flair strut on the way to the ring as well. Yeah, so he is, kind of paying homage to the old school as well as being a young guy. He's younger than me. I think he's about 24 or something like that.
Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, so I think this is an ideal time to get a homegrown talent as world champion. So I think MJF somehow, because he's got a big Wardlow in his corner as well. Let's not forget that. It won't be a clean win, but I think he'll win by hook or by crook. Yeah,
I'm with you. I think that AEW need to prove that they can produce new stars. Obviously, John Moxley and Jericho, very very established in the WWE, and that's fine. And we understood that. I think a lot of fans understood that these guys needed to be the champions at first. But
to give them some credibility, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think MJF is literally one of the top 5 workers in the world at the moment. And
absolutely.
We're at a stage where there's so few true villains in the business. Because AEW have a bigger problem with it than the WWE do, because they don't always separate that line between good guy, bad guy. But MJF is very, very firmly on the bad guy side of things.
Absolutely, yeah.
And WWE missed, in my opinion, an opportunity to put a belt on like their true villain, being Randy Orton. And I think that while they got away with that because Drew's very popular and deserving,
Well,
I think
you know my feelings on that.
I
Because
know
I
your
was
opinion. We mentioned it on the
on
viewpoint
the
for
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam.
Yeah.
But I think that there would be some backlash if John Moxley was to retain here. I think MJF is just the guy.
I think he's ready. Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
ready. So
I mean, it's just a case of whether the AEW board think he is, but I think it is time. And I think with the whole finisher being banned, I think that adds.
yeah, I don't think they would have put him over Cody if they didn't think he was ready for something this big. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
that's what I think so too.
yeah.
I think we're both in with that. We're both in with MJF. And I think obviously Moxley, the thing with Moxley as well, I think he want to go back to doing his hardcore matches and stuff, which
Exactly.
it's its own attraction. You know, he doesn't need the AEW championship.
And he's still the IWGP US champion as
Yeah,
well.
he is. Yeah.
He's got to do commitments with that at some point as well. So.
Yeah, but I think he can do. There's a lot for Moxley outside of this belt, and it'll be a nice change. For MJF.
There's a lot of opportunity for Moxley to do other stuff. I personally would love to see a Moxley versus Archer feud, you know, that kind of thing, because Archer's got Roberts, Roberts in his corner, right? Moxley idolized Roberts growing up. I know that as a fact because I've seen the video of one of the Raw, old school Raws, from a few years ago, where Jake the Snake Roberts came to the ring with his snake, the Shield, and this is when Moxley was still part of the Shield.
Yes, I remember this.
Yes. And if you look at John Moxley's face as he's supposed to be unconscious in the ring with the snake on him that Jake puts on him, he's smiling. He's smiling because Roberts was one of his favourites growing up. So
yeah. And I think
and
Moxley, he's very into his psychology and stuff, and I think he can learn a lot from that rub. There's lots of Moxley, I think, still in the company.
Yeah.
MJF to win that one. So absolutely. Next, the women's championship, the Solo women's match.
This is what I'm really looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to this one.
So we have Thunder Rosa, who's the NWA Women's Champion of present. She's the challenger for Hikaru Shida. Who's the current champion. So let's go into it. What do you think?
Okay, this one I'm really looking forward to because I'm a big Shida fan. I think she's so strong. Those strikes that she does are unbelievable. She's really, really, for someone, looks can be deceiving. She looks, sweet and innocent when she's doing her interviews and stuff, but when she gets in the ring, she's a badass. Thunder Rosa, on the other hand, I know she looks like a badass, and she is a badass because not only is she a wrestler, she's had like MMA background as well. And I know a lot of people didn't look at the new NWA when it first came onto YouTube, but I did. I watched it religiously, and Thunder Rosa is no joke. You know what I mean? She beat one of the best. She's worked with the best. She's beat the best. So this is going to be a really tough battle, between the two of them. For those who don't know, Thunder Rosa is the NWA Women's Champion. So this is champion versus champion, but only one belt is on the line. Hikaru Shida's AEW Women's Championship. It's going to be hard hitting. It's going to be a close call. I'm going to absolutely love it. But I think this is a big test for Hikaru Shida, to see if she can meet with someone on the same level as her. So I think she will pass the test. I think this is just being brought in as like a big challenge for Shida. Because so far, all the people she's I'm not saying that they're not good, but none of them have been able to compete with her with the intensity so far. So I think that's all this is, just to see if she can hang with someone on that same level. So Hikaru Shida for the win. A tough battle, but she'll win.
I've gone for Hikaru Shida retaining too. Mainly because, actually, Thunder Rosa being the NWA Women's Champion, I think just the ruling it really is that if you're bringing in someone from another promotion to your promotion, you've got to put your
they're
promotion
already
over.
champion. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to put your promotion over.
Yeah. I mean, AEW have actually said they'd be open to work with NWA. They have done before before AEW came established. They, remember All In? They did
Yeah.
some stuff with the NWA then. You know what I mean? So they had Cody versus Aldist on 2 occasions.
Yes,
So,
yeah. So I think they've got some sort of working relationship, but I still think that obviously, AEW would want to put themselves over. It's always been the case, though. I think yes, like this is possibly you're right. It's a test for obviously for Hikaru Shida. Obviously, she's part of that same school as the Asukas and the Kairi Sanes that
absolutely,
obviously have done so well in the WWE
yeah.
over the past few years and the Stardom girls. But I think Hikaru Shida's got this. I think she's not long won the belt either.
It's not going to be a walkover, that's for sure. So.
No. I think that this hopefully, if it's given time, which is what I'm worried
I
about.
personally think it has the potential to be a show stealer. Has the potential. That's all I'm going to say. So.
Well, hopefully they give it time. That's all I can say. But it's hard because there's so much going on to this card, and another match which I think. The next match we're going to discuss now is a tag team match for the tag team championships. This is one where I think is going to be the reason why a couple of matches get cut short. This isn't going to end. This isn't going to end anytime quickly. So Kenny Omega and Adam Page taking on FTR with Tully Blanchard. Sorry, not Tully Blanchard.
Yes, Tully Blanchard.
Tully Blanchard.
Horseman. So
yeah. So what do you think? So my cat is in the shot.
I can see that. Yeah. Stop playing with your pusser. There we go. I had to get it in there.
It's been a long time since I played with Pussy though, Josh.
Versus Page Omega. Here's what I think. Now, I'm big with the FTR. I love how they've managed to rebrand themselves. You know what I mean? You could tell they weren't happy when they were over at WWE. You could see it. You know what I mean? Their faces and the matches and stuff like that. They weren't being used to their proper full potential. In AEW, they've had the chance to... And here's the thing, they're really saluting old school wrestling. In their matches, they have to use the tag rope and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And here's the thing. I love that they've got Tully Blanchard as their manager because they kind of are the modern day Blanchard and Anderson, aren't they? Yeah. Just by their look. Do you know what I mean? So... And it's been interesting watching Omega and Page. There's been this friction for months, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Between them. And not just between them, within the entire elite. As a matter of fact, I don't know if you saw the tag team, gauntlet match that happened this week, which FTR obviously won to get this title shot. But Hangman Page cost the Bucks their shots. You know what I mean? So, but here's the thing. People say, oh, it's a setup. The elite are still together. That kind of... I don't think that's true. Hangman's been trying to separate himself from the elite for months. I'm talking about back in December time. I watch Being the Elite. Do you know what I mean? So there's, Hangman's been trying to step out on his own, step out of the pack. And, I think he wants to try and become the star by himself. So I think it's going to finally implode, between Page and Omega in the match. FTR finally give an actual tag team the belts. You know what I mean? Because Hangman Page and Omega, they've had a good reign. They've been champions since the Jericho Cruise. And that was back before Revolution. So early February, late January, I'm talking here. You know what I mean? Yeah. They've had a good run. So I think it's time to give someone else the straps. FTR for the tag team titles.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think FTR, because as well, I think if FTR, in my opinion, if FTR do not win the tag titles on this occasion, what was the point of them leaving WWE in the same position?
Exactly.
And yeah, I think that obviously Omega and Adam Page, they had them keep the belts, even in pandemic mode when obviously Adam Page wasn't making shows or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And it kind of, I don't want to say buried the tag team division, but it didn't really give them anything worth doing. That's the thing. So
yeah, it's hard because obviously, WWE did with Sami Zayn when they went, well, you can't defend the IC title. Sorry, we're making you champion, and
yeah,
that gets criticised. But obviously, it's like, well, it's not the guy's fault. He wants to stay at home. But then obviously on the flip side, it's like if you don't do that, then you end up with a guy who's been your champion for months, who's not around. Look, this is probably. I mean, you talk about show stealer in the women's match. This, I think, will be the one they really want to be a show stealer.
I said
from the marketing.
I said the women's match had the potential.
Yeah, of course.
I said it had the potential. So yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But I think, I think this is the match which I think AEW would want to present as, especially because didn't they get a 5-star match or was 5.5? What was it, like a 6-star match?
6-star. Dave Meltzer, you can thank for that one. So.
Yeah, and was that a Revolution?
Yeah, it was at Revolution.
Like the best tag match ever or whatever.
That was a 6-star one. So.
Yeah, I think obviously FTR are out to obviously prove that they are the best.
So I'm just sodding out my sodding ponytail here. Yeah.
He's got new hair.
Ponytail, so yeah.
But yeah, I'm going with an FTR win, new champions. I think, especially because I think they're going to obviously have a new world champion, a new world tag champions, and retain the women's is what I'm thinking. Next match is Matt Hardy, whichever guys he's in at the moment, I don't know, against Sammy Guevara. In a broken rules match, if Hardy loses, he must leave AEW. What do you think?
Now, here's what I think. Guevara is really, really good. He's really over. I love those cue card things that he does, during the intervals and stuff. Jericho's protege and a future big star of his own. Okay, that's what I think. But I don't think they would have built all that hype to bring Hardy in, right, and then only have him dwindle for a few months. Okay, Hardy is too much of a hot commodity to let go at this stage. So there's no way Hardy's losing this match, I think. So I think it's going to be a big, brawl, blood all over the place, but Hardy's not losing this one. So I think Matt Hardy will win it. But I do think Sammy Guevara will get over Hardy at some point down the line in another match. So, Hardy to win this match because they're not going to want to let that big money go with Matt Hardy.
Okay. Well, possible rant coming here. So prepare yourself.
Okay, here we go. Good thing I've got a drink right now. So.
I couldn't give a shit. In the nicest possible way. I think I just can't get behind Matt Hardy having 1,000 different reincarnations and versions and having, I can't get over Matt Hardy.
Yeah, is he broken? Is he V1?
Yeah.
Is he Money Matt? Is he? Yeah. So is he the one who will not die? That kind of stuff.
He's been doing obviously a lot of promo stuff on YouTube over the past kind of few months about this. I had a chance to watch them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, when he did that free the delete stuff.
Yeah, and he did like we're gonna see. I'm gonna show you the real Matt Hardy, but he just showed us just the normal Matt Hardy that we've seen before. I think, sadly, this is where, in my opinion, where AEW does sometimes fail, because the stars have so much creative control, and it's at the point.
Yeah, they get that. I think sometimes they do give them too much control. So.
But we're at the point now where Matt Hardy...
That's one of the things that ran WCW right into the ground. You know what I mean? So you need to be careful with that. So, yeah.
we're at the point where Matt Hardy, he debuted in March, and he's had more gimmick changes and personas than I think everyone else in the roster combined.
Yeah, I mean,
in 6 months.
You only have to look at the Stadium Stampede match to see that.
Yeah, I think, look, I like Matt Hardy. I like the Hardy Boys. I like Jeff. I'm a big Hardy boy. And it is remarkable his story, and how they've been so relevant.
Both of them managed to turn their lives around.
Yeah, and how they've been so relevant for 30 years, really. So, they've been around a long while, and I think, in my opinion, I feel like Matt Hardy's a bit lost in this.
Right.
And some of it is COVID related. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, of course.
And I think obviously because they were at one point teasing the what are they calling it, the Elite Deletion match between him and
they
Chris
were
Jericho.
also. Yeah, it never came about, sadly. So.
Yeah, never came about, I guess, because of travel restrictions and.
Well, another thing that didn't come about was the whole, blood and guts match. Sadly, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so. The thing is, weird. They had moved that to October, but I don't think they're going to do it then. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see when that happens.
God knows these days.
But yeah, look, I'm going to go the other way from you with this. Actually, I'm going to go with Sami Guevara. I think this is going to be one of those things where Matt Hardy goes, but Broken Matt comes back.
Or
B1 comes back.
Damascus State.
The thing is, he might even come back under a mask at this point. Mask Hardy. I think as well, because Sami Guevara, despite the fact that he made some bad comments, some bad judgment.
He's young and stupid, and he admitted that, you know what I mean?
He admitted that. And he apologised, didn't he? He apologised.
Yeah, he did. He apologised relentlessly. And I think, everyone deserves, it depends on how far you go, but I think most people deserve a second chance. Yeah. And he got that chance. And I think he's really been living up to it since then. So I did like the way how they brought him back, pretend to be Serpentico. I thought that was pretty funny. So and I love the dynamic between him and Jericho, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they work well together.
It's like an odd father-son kind of thing, isn't it? So
yeah, I'm gonna go with Sami Guevara on this one, Josh. I think what he's missing too is he hasn't really had that defining singles victory, and I think that Matt Hardy is a doable kind of one.
The only reason I think Matt Hardy is, like I said, I'm just thinking about money thing, because sadly in big companies it does come down to money. So and Matt Hardy is money. That's the only thing. That's the only reason why I'm saying Matt Hardy, because they spent a lot of money to get him. So
yeah, I think obviously, but the thing is that they might use it as a chance to maybe get him off TV for a little bit and to bring him back repackaged. So that's why I'm going for something.
I get that. Yeah.
Look, I think this would be decent. It's obviously going to be some sort of hardcore match, and there'll be some good spots. And I'm somewhat looking forward to it. But I'm not behind this stipulation of if he loses, he leaves. I think.
No, I'm not behind that either.
I'm not behind that. I think it
out of nowhere. I think. So.
Yeah, and it's again, like you've pointed out, like is someone going to leave after signing a contract only 5 months ago, 6 months ago?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not. But then it's just the way he's been used. It's like the way he's been used, and because of obviously pandemic, it kind of might be a case of like let's write him off for a few months and then we'll to bring him back later on.
Bring him back, exactly.
Bring him back later on as the new guys. All right. On to the main match, in my opinion. It's the Mimosa Mayhem match.
Here we go.
It's a match that can be won by pinfall.
By the way, you've got to book one of these ones for me, I think. So, yeah.
The thing is, though, what I don't get is, because obviously what they decided to do is obviously merge. But just say Mimosa Mayhem match. The match can be won by pinfall, submission, or throwing the opponent into a tank of Mimosa.
Those who don't know what a mimosa is, it's a cross between champagne and orange juice. So that's what they're doing. Yeah, they're merging.
Isn't that just Bucks Fizz?
Yeah.
So
you might as well just
Fizz match.
Bucks Fizz match, yeah. So yeah.
But anyway, so it's Chris Jericho taking on Orange Cassidy. Must put that in there for people watching the video. So Chris Jericho, Orange Cassidy, Mimosa Mayhem match. Bloody hell, that's a lot of M's.
I know.
And look, so this is one where I'm really torn with it. I'm decided to leave this one first, so I think I'm torn with it, and here's the reason why. Because of that last part of the stipulation. So the match can be won by pinfall submission, that's fine, or by throwing an opponent into a tank of Mimosa. Now, someone has to go in the Mimosa. In the Mimosa,
it has to happen. Match over. Someone has to be thrown into it.
But here's the but: do they have the match end with someone getting thrown into the puddle of Mimosa? Or does Chris Jericho win and then gets thrown in anyway.
Interesting theory.
This is the problem I'm at the moment, because
interesting theory.
As much as I know that Chris Jericho isn't as much of a mark for himself, I still do think that he must be realizing that if he keeps taking these losses, his value is decreasing. And I'm just thinking that he might want to protect himself, to win the match, but then go into the Mimosa afterwards.
Yeah.
And I think as well, like, without a crowd, how I feel is that the Mimosa, the pop that the Mimosa ending would get, is gone. Because obviously, obviously, I know they are limited crowd, isn't it, for All Out? There's limited tickets.
Yeah, absolutely. They've started letting people back in, but with social distancing, obviously.
Yeah, social distancing, and masks.
And masks are required. So.
Yeah, and the sound isn't as loud as it would be. You can hear it, but it's not as loud as a crowd would be. And so a lot of, obviously, with these kind of matches, a lot of the kind of tease is always, joy of watching them is in the tease, isn't it? Of seeing someone almost go in, similar with like a ladder match, for instance, seeing someone almost touch the belt. I think it gets lost without a crowd. And so that's another reason why I'm thinking. And the fact they put pinfall submission in there just really annoys me. It's not when they do cage matches. It's like, well, no, we want to see someone climb the cage and climb out.
Because like, every time you see, like when the Hardys used to have cage matches, you always want to see someone jump off it, like Jeff Hardy or something like that. You know what I mean? You want to see those big defining moments, from someone climbing the cage.
This is what makes it hard, and this is what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with my gut and say Jericho's winning, and he's going to Mimosa anyways afterwards. I think that would be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I know this will, be different to a lot of people's opinion. I think that's the right thing to do, and it's what's best for business in the nicest possible way.
I think all sorts of mayhem is going to kick off in this match.
Oh,
because
yes.
I think, right, Jericho and Cassidy, they're going to go at it. It's going to be a big thing. Probably one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life. Santana Ortiz is going to come in, try to mess it up for Cassidy. The best friends are going to come in, and mess it up because they've been having a feud themselves. You know what I mean? Then Sami Guevara comes in. Who knows? Maybe Matt Hardy comes in. Big fuck off brawl. Do you know what I mean? But then there's the kicker. There's no one to fend off Jake Hager. You know what I mean? Jake Hager's going to be the thing that defines it. You know what I mean? Giving Jericho the upper hand to throw him in. It's the Mimosa. But I agree with you about Jericho having that dip in the Mimosa himself. So Jericho to win, but still get embarrassed at the end of the night.
But that's it. That's we're all out of predictions for All Out. We are back with the Viewpoint for Clash of Champions at the end of the month. And of course, coming this Saturday, we will have a special collab episode of the Talking Crap podcast with the guys from Wrestle Vlogs in the US. Until then, I've been Lucas Schatz. I'm joined by the lovely, as always, Champagne Charlie. And that's been the predictions for All Out. Take care. See you on the other side.